No, but that's what it looks like.
I don't know. You better check with your other Globers and make sure we're even seeing that because there's a lot of people that don't agree that we would even see the positions of the stars. It
Well,
only
you know,
happens on the camera, on the CCD plate of the camera because it's flat, but our eyes are curved.
no, but you know, like how would we test that?
I don't know. I don't know.
Geez,
How?
I mean, you could test it. Put it, get a ball in a dark room, some lights. Put a GoPro on the ball, and then do a time lapse. That'd
And
be
in the
easy.
end, we would see something that's not actually happening.
No, I think personally we would see exactly what we see in reality.
Okay, so you're in the camp where we would see the stars converging and diverging at the celestial
Yes,
equator. Okay, so
I
is
mean,
that actually
I'm,
happening?
I'm
Are
just
the
saying,
stars
Jeremy,
actually
you have
converging
to
and
do the
diverging?
test. You have to do the test first.
Okay, but are the stars actually converging and diverging on the globe when we look up at the sky?
That's what it looks like. Are they actually doing that? No, but that's what it looks like.
Okay, so good. We see
But
shit
that's
in the
the
sky. That's my
result.
whole point. We see shit in the sky that's not actually happening in the globe model. Perfect.
But Jeremy, you got to understand. Like you do the test, right? And then you compare that to reality. And if it doesn't match, then you have an argument. But if it does match, then you're like, oh shit, maybe what's happening in this little test is actually what's happening in reality.
No,
Yeah,
you
exactly. Exactly. So the globe model doesn't fit reality, right?
Well, you have to do the test first.
Right. And these observations are the equivalent of that. The observations don't match what we're supposed to see in the globe model without you invoking all sorts of jiggery pokery with refraction.
No, it's you not listen to what I said. You have to do the test first. You do the test, right? Get yourself a ball, go in a dark room, put a camera or put a GoPro on the ball, spin the ball, do a time lapse, right? Face the camera all sorts of different ways, like facing south, facing north, facing east, facing west. Do a time lapse, and then you go outside and you do the same thing with the stars, and then see if it matches.
okay? And in the end, we would in the end after all that's done, and we know that it does happen on a ball. Then we look up in the sky, and you have to say, "Yep, that we see that happening, but it's not actually happening, right?" Because we know that it's not actually converging and diverging, right?
But you're literally seeing what's happening on a small scale.
I know that doesn't matter though. It doesn't mean we're on a ball just because you see that.
Jeremy,
Just because that worked. Please don't interrupt. That's maybe why you got timed out or kicked or whatever happened before.
I
But
wasn't. I
please,
wasn't even in the VC when I got booted. So no.
okay. Well, then just don't interrupt, please. Either way, just because that works on a ball doesn't mean that that's what's happening when we look up at the sky. And my argument still stands that you have to say that we're seeing something in the sky that's not actually happening.
No, you're seeing something in the sky that matches, right? Matches the test that I just did.
It doesn't matter if it matches the test. That doesn't mean we're on a ball.
Why doesn't it match, Jeremy?
I didn't say it didn't match. I said it doesn't matter if it does match. It doesn't mean we're on a ball if it does match.
How are you making that assumption and it doesn't we're not on the ball because the fact it matches.
Because you're admitting that
I
it's
didn't
not
say we're not on
actually
a ball
happening.
if
It
it
just looks
matches. I
like
said it doesn't mean we're on a ball if it matches.
So what does it mean? Does it still mean we're on a flat Earth because it
Your little
matches?
ball in a room with the lights and the GoPro doesn't mean jack shit. I don't even know why you brought it up.
Because that's how you would test it. Now, if it didn't match at all, then you would have an argument.
I still have an argument. You're looking up at the sky at
No,
the celestial equator and you're seeing something happen that's not actually happening.
but it is happening, and you're seeing it. It
The
might
stars are
look
actually
like
converging and diverging.
okay because it looks
RFK Jr. has called it out. Big Pharma and the government work together to suppress treatments like ivermectin and hydroxychloroquine.
like that, right? Right. That's a result of you rotating. That's the result of it.
That is not. That's the. You can't. No, dude.
Think about it. Think
We're
about it,
looking at
Jeremy.
this.
Go ahead.
We're looking at the celestial equator. You're seeing something happen. It's not actually happening, right?
It is happening.
They're actually. It is happening. The stars are converging and diverging.
Do you mean like, so when you say that, right? When you say that, you mean like physically getting farther apart?
What does converging and diverging mean? We're playing
You
word games
what
now. I'm done.
way
I'm out, guys.
the
Go
way
ahead.
I'm
Carry
seeing
this. You guys can
no no
carry
no
this on if you want.
the way I'm hearing you say it is I'm thinking that you're saying they're actually getting farther apart by converging and diverging.
Is it the first day back from the ban?
You're
Is that the
looking up
energy?
at the sky. I'll say it one more time. You're looking up at the sky. You see the stars converging and diverging, but they're not actually doing that. They're not actually converging and diverging.
Because that's a result of you rotating.
You don't know that.
Well, you do the test and you make a comparison, Jeremy.
Just if it matches your little ball with the lights on it with the GoPro in a dark room doesn't mean that that's what's happening, that's what we're doing.
Okay, then let's make it match a flat earth then. How do we do that?
I didn't say I can make a match of flat earth. I'm just saying
Oh,
my whole point
okay.
is you're looking at the sky, seeing something happen that's not actually happening.
Okay, so which one does it match more? A flat earth or does it match a rotating globe?
It doesn't matter which one it matches more.
That's
But
an honest question.
my whole point is that you have to now admit that we see something happening in the sky that's not actually happening.
But it is actually happening, Jeremy,
They're
because
not
we're
actually
actually
converging and diverging. You already said that.
it doesn't matter, Jeremy. You can say whatever you want.
You're
Do
just
what
saying
you
my
think is
argument doesn't matter. You have no rebuttal for this.
you don't because the only thing you can say is that it matches one model, but it doesn't match another, right? You have to actually agree that it matches a globe. You have to. Because it doesn't match any other model.
It doesn't matter. I don't care about your models. It's irrelevant. My whole point is you have to now admit that you look into the sky and we're
No,
seeing something happening that's not actually happening.
that's because you think that the stars are actually getting farther apart,
I didn't say
which they're
that.
not.
I didn't even say that.
That's what you're insinuating.
I'm not insinuating it at all. My
So,
whole
but do you
point is,
agree?
I'll say it one last time, in case you missed it the first 17
I
times I
got it.
said it.
I got it.
My whole point is, the Globers now have to admit that we're looking up at the sky and we're seeing something happen that's not actually happening.
No, the only thing we have to admit is that it matches one model to 100%, and it doesn't match the other model at all.
Okay, that's not my
Regardless
point
of
at
what
all. That's not my
regardless of what
point
you're
at all.
saying,
You're a terrible interlocutor.
there's probably a delay. Go ahead, Jeremy.
No, not because of the interruptions. I mean, that doesn't help either. But it's the point. You're not even like you're trying to take my point, make it be something else. You're just
B-ball, it's the same thing as like crepuscular rays, right? According to your guys' model, like even though we observe the divergence and convergence or what have you, guys say that it's parallel rays from the sun, right? It doesn't match our observation. Just like, Earth being motionless, like we feel it to be motionless, you guys say no, it's actually accelerating at x whatever. The point is, the point Jeremy's making is that what you guys claim does not match physical observation.
It does match physical observation. I just gave you a test that you can do to see which model it matches. It matches one model perfectly. The other model doesn't match at all. So pick one.
it's a false dichotomy. The point is though that
Have another one?
with
Do you
this
have
you have to
another
look
model?
at the. Please, dude. The point is that you guys have to look up at the sky, say we see this thing happening, but the thing we see happening, it's not actually happening.
I just got in. What is the thing?
Converging and diverging star trails. Please try your best to pay attention.
I mean, you could literally stand and
We
spin
just not
yourself in a circle and see that happening. Oh, Is the concrete and my ceiling converging and diverging?
So you're admitting
What are you
that it's
talking?
not actually happening?
That's what it looks like. But again,
So if that's what the
that's
globe
what
predicts, but you're
that's
admitting that
it.
that's not what's actually happening, what does that mean for you?
It doesn't mean anything for me. It means it matches one model and doesn't match another.
But it doesn't match the globe. You just said
Yes, it
that.
does.
So what
I
model does
just
it
told
match?
you it doesn't match flat Earth at all.
But does it match the globe?
Yes, it does. 100%.
How, when you
I
just said
just
that
gave
they're
you.
not
I
actually
just gave you.
happening?
I just gave you a test whether or not you can test it.
What, the floor
Just
and the ceiling?
yeah, sure.
Okay, so we know that the floor and the ceiling never actually converge. So
But
therefore, how are
but
you going to apply that with what you're saying with the stars? Because your
be,
prediction is that they would converge and diverge, but you're saying that they don't actually do that. They just look like they are.
hmm
So where's the sense in what you're saying here, buddy?
because like I said, you can spin yourself in a circle, right?
That would mean that they actually are, though, not that
Or
they're
you can
looking
well,
like they are.
listen to what I'm saying. I understand you guys want to hold this position so bad, right? But there's only one model where that matches. Regardless if the stars are actually converging or diverging, there's only one model that would match, where it looks like they're converging and diverging, but they're not actually doing that. There's
No,
only
no, no,
one
no,
model
no, no. The
that
model
matches.
would be that it looks like that because that's what's happening.
Yes, that's what's happening. It looks
You
like
just said
that's
that
what's
it's
happening.
not what's happening. It just looks like
Regardless,
it's happening.
there's still a model, whether it looks like it's happening or it's not. There's still a model where that matches, and there's one model where it doesn't match.
There's a model that matches where it doesn't look like it's happening. What model is
hmm
that?
That's the globe model. So you can laugh all you want. You can do the test, and then you can ask yourself, which one does it match? Does it match a flat Earth with one rotation over the North Pole, or does it match a globe where there's a rotation in the north and a rotation in the south?
So it's just an apparent match. It's not an actual thing that's happening, right? It just
No, it's
apparently
not.
looks like it matches the globe.
No. You can go outside at nighttime, point your camera north, you see a rotation, then turn around, point your camera south, you'll see a rotation, and then you can do that same test, get yourself a ball, put a GoPro on it, face it north, rotate it, face it south, rotate it. Let's see what model that matches. Sure doesn't match a flat Earth.
We're not talking about that though. We're talking about converging and diverging at the equator.
I know you want to make it sound
You're
as
running from
crazy
it.
as
It sounds
possible.
like you're
No,
trying to go back to the pole so you can be safe. Are you
no.
safe
You
at the
want to
pole?
make it sound as ridiculous as possible. That way, you can still hold this position. But
I
regardless,
haven't
you only have
I haven't described it in any way. I'm letting you describe the situation. And I'm just asking questions. But you're saying I'm holding on to this.
you're
It's
holding
really
on
weird.
because you want to keep saying it. Oh, converging and diverging. Which one is it? Is it actually converging and diverging? Oh, you said it is, but it isn't. I mean,
Right.
we can go around in circles all day, but we only know you and I both know that there's only one model where that matches.
But it's not actually happening, so it doesn't really match the model, right?
So regardless, you can keep saying that, but we
Okay,
know
just
it matches.
making sure because that was your concession earlier, and that's where I'm really,
Okay, tell me
really hung
where the
up.
southern
Maybe other
celestial
listeners,
pole
I
would
don't know.
be.
This is why your eyes get tired and vision deteriorates. Did you know vision loss even 2200 is a complete
Where's the southern celestial pole on the flat Earth?
We're
Where
talking
is
about
that?
the celestial
Is
equator right now. Though.
yeah. There would have to be a southern celestial pole, right?
Hey, can
Where
we
would that
elevate the conversation a little bit? The
Yeah.
southerly collection of stars that you're referring to is called Sigma Octantis, and that is in fact the collection
Okay.
of southerly stars. That there's actually no central star, just a collection of stars that appear to converge. Go ahead.
Yes, and they rotate in the south. Yes. So where would that be? Would that be south of South Africa? Would it be south of South America? Where would that be on flat Earth? South of Australia?
Oh shit.
Yeah, that's the problem. I know.
I posted something for you if nobody else is going to talk to you about it. Posted something in live stream, one for you to look at, which is a model of Polaris on one side and the collection of southerly stars on the other side, including the equatorial barrel roll, if you'd like to call it that, of the stars. But I'm not
Yes.
entirely seeing what your problem is with respects to you pointing at stars and saying, aha, the Earth is a globe because of stuff in the sky. It's almost like a non sequitur, quite honestly and bluntly. The ground is
Okay.
independent of the sky.
Okay. So this was taken at where? The equator?
Well, it's a model, brother. It's a model,
Yeah. This
right?
is the
Showing you
equator.
that it works. It has a flat plane below it, and you're looking up at the sky and observing again the North Star on one side, and you're observing as the camera pans to the other side the equatorial star roll over the top. And then again, Sigma Octantis, the collection of southerly stars to the right hand side. It's a model showing that it actually works, which is kind of flying in the face of what you're standing upon.
No, no. So where was this taken on the equator? Give me a location on the Earth where this was taken.
It's a model, right? So you
No,
can't exactly
this is a
take
collection of.
something, quote
No,
unquote,
this
when
is
it's
not
a
a model.
model.
This is a collection.
So
This
it
is a
would be a
collection.
representation of a viewpoint from the equator, right? As you look to the left, you see again the North Star Polaris. As you pan to the right, equatorial barrel roll over the top, and
You're breaking up.
Sigma Octantis on the right hand side. Go ahead.
You're breaking up. This was probably taken at the equator. This is a collection of screenshots, so I don't know what's the location. This isn't really telling me. This is the only thing this is telling me is that it's probably taken on at the equator. That's it. And on flat Earth, south is supposed to be in all directions. So how was the southern star trails only in one place?
Wait, say that last part again.
This was most likely taken at the equator, right?
I think it's
But
explained on a
on
like a star chart, star map.
You said on a flat Earth, south is which direction?
is it in all directions, or is that a straw man again? Forgot.
It technically
Oh,
is, but like to be specific,
Okay.
when you're dead north, it is. But yes, you can go north and continue north and then turn into south.
All right. So let's theoretically say I was in Mexico when I took this picture. What would I see? Which direction? If someone is in, I don't know, in Africa, would they see the same thing?
So it's your topic, shouldn't you know?
Well, on a globe, yeah, I know exactly. Everyone would be looking in the same direction, but on flat Earth, we're looking in different directions.
Have you looked at the
Oh,
Joe Hanley model?
we're looking. Yeah, I saw. Yeah, that doesn't explain it. Sorry.
How?
Well, I mean, you can pull it up and show me.
You just claimed it doesn't explain it, so how is that?
It doesn't. I've looked at it. I mean,
To be fair, I really don't think it does. He's even admitted that you can put any terrestrial map at the bottom of this and any type of celestial projection on top. And it's going to give like the northern and southern rotational effects. But again, that's not like specific to the constellations we know. It can be any model that you can throw up there.
so this collection of star trails would help if I knew the location, but it doesn't really help flat Earth at all.
Half a dozen animated images do not a model make.
Also, if you guys, does anyone use Stellarium?
Do you know how they turn on and off their refraction
No.
and get accurate results? Do you know how that works?
Mm-mm. They said they
Yeah,
turn on and off.
they put in a set temperature and air pressure for the Young's equation from 1994. and
Is
they
it
turned
really
on.
from 94?
Yeah,
Jesus
and
Christ.
that's not really accurate because unless that's your exact temperature, you would turn off, the refraction stellarium.
Yeah, what about global warming, man? That surely should have risen.
Well, I mean, your temperature changes all the time.
Has anyone pulled
There's
out
15
stellarium at
degrees
like
Celsius they have in
midnight?
there.
Anyone use stellarium at midnight?
Huh?
What's the difference?
So what you could do is stay up till midnight, pull out stellarium either on your phone or on a tablet or whatever, and just look for the sun.
Is it a globe because it says it's down?
That would make perfect sense if
That
it
would
was.
convince you, wouldn't it?
I mean, it makes perfect
If
sense.
the app showed you where the sun was when you couldn't see it, you'd be dead convinced.
Yeah, it makes sense
Damn.
because we use it every other time. I mean, I know it wouldn't really make sense for the sun to somehow go below the horizon and then make a sharp right turn.
Can you
Don't do it,
measure it
guys.
below the horizon?
Don't do
No,
it,
but
dude. Just let them have the app, dude. Just let them have it.
My bad. All right.
Yeah, dude. It's all good. I think it's fine, right? I mean, look,
Yeah.
it's a fucking app, dude. Just let it. Oh yeah, it's an app. Okay.
Well, I just want to say, like, theoretically, like, with the stars or whatever, if God has a star set in motion, they could be going whatever direction. Excuse me, sorry. And, yeah, and, they, that's not really mutually exclusive.
That was like one of the biggest speed bumps when I was really getting stir crazy in this debate. For me, I was like, I felt, and I'm not trying to segue too far from the argument, but I personally felt like a lot of times, from a biblical based standpoint, belief system, that I was arguing God's behalf with laws of science. And it became like really contradictive because I felt like I was boxing creation in. And so I think what you said holds true. If we are to believe in miraculous creation, then we got to kind of put
You
science to
can
the
absolutely
side.
believe in miraculous creation because there's proof of intelligent design.
Right, yeah, I know there is, but I'm saying like if
Are you a
you're
flat earther, fresh grown flowers, or what?
yeah, yeah. Are you oh my bad, I'll stop.
No, I was just curious. I didn't know. I got it. I don't know.
Yeah, no, I am. But I'm saying like when I found myself in the flat earth debates of like arguing scientific fact over
What's your best case for flat earth
miraculous
then?
capability. Just pressure and water.
Okay.
Pressure requiring containment,